Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
You didn't go to Las Vegas? What is that?
No comment.
Tiffany's best friend from Henyard just turned up with some ridiculous receipts to expose Tiffany, and it appears that Dalton's super mayor has been up to more mischief than we could have ever thought. Rumor has it that Tiffany is suing her best friend for snitching since she is not happy about this betrayal. However, it seems that the FBI was correct to pursue Tiffany because the best friend has further receipts to back up her allegations. Tarnish Tiffany's reputation. Is she going to have a major comeback, or is her reign coming to an end? Guys, let's talk about it. Tiffany's best buddy is not just bringing tea, but a big pot of simmering drama as well. We're discussing shocking evidence that could put a premature end to Tiffany's political career. Corruption scandal. We're talking about reputational harm that might terminate a person's career, not just unimportant rumors. Receipts are threatened by freedom, but this is where things become interesting. Does it sound prudent or desperate for Tiffany to sue her former closest buddy for snitching? Tiffany will not be defeated easily. Rumor has it that the best friends have even more dirt to share. Will it backfire if Tiffany responds firmly? Final stand, this political soap opera is far from over, so follow Tiffany's legal battle with her best friend as it unfolds. Let's discuss how this small-town politician went from being a kissing baby to becoming Dalton's super mayor. Slicing ribbons, big dreaming local girl Tiffany Henyard unexpectedly becomes a political celebrity. She is the supervisor of Thoron Township and the mayor of Dalton. The worst thing about working two jobs is that they both have twice as much responsibility and twice as much money. According to rumors, Tiffany has been making over $200,000 annually from all of these gigs combined, which is a substantial amount of money for a small business. The occasional office supply buy is insufficient. Instead, it's an unlawful spending spree that would make even the most obsessive influencer cringe. However, that is not the only aspect of this story. Do you recall the best friend of Tiffany who is now leaking all the secrets? According to our sources, she was right and not an innocent bystander. Guess who is footing the tab for Tiffany's extravagant lifestyle in the city? Indeed, the diligent residents of DTON. Now, let's discuss friends with benefits. Tiffany is living life to the fullest, even receiving gifts worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Tiffany's administration has criticized acts for putting on an impressive display. They have presented an image of progress and prosperity, but committed supporters and employees are showing up behind the scenes, and they aren't holding back when they talk about manipulation, retaliation, and other questionable behaviors that go on behind closed doors. For the people of Dalton, it's like a political soap opera with real-life consequences. Not to mention that this whole drama started practically as soon as Tiffany took office in 2021. She appears to have gone from hometown hero to public enemy #1 faster than you can say impeachment, so it didn't take long for the fractures in her impeccable political facade to show. However, the true question is if Tiffany actually believes she could get away with all of this. One would observe the rapid surge in expensive products, the lavish spending, and the lavish holidays. Or was she just thinking she was invincible and relishing her newfound power? Hold on to your hats because Tiffany's security detail is going to blow you away if you thought her shopping spree was insane. The price tag is so costly that even Jeff Bezos would be envious. But Tiffany Henyard didn't want to be envious of the small-town mayor who had protection that would make us celebrities green with jealousy. She wanted to look like a VIP, and having a swarm of bodyguards is the best way to achieve that. Tiffany claims to have significant threats against her life, whether they are true or not, and she is using these reported threats to justify a security detail that is costing Dalton $1 million. It's not just about appearing important, though.
In Dalton, and what is your security detail?
So we have about 45 officers in our village. My security is warranted due to the fact of threats and things of that nature, but what people are not stating is it's in our CBA. That's our collective bargaining agreement. That's our union contract. So it comes with a seat. That's what people are not saying. I didn't make this up. I didn't just create this and say, I want security.
How many officers is it
How many officers is what?
on security detail?
I'm not gonna say how many due to the threats on my life. So
But if it's in your CBA,
it is in my CBA. I'm not doing anything wrong. I even went to court due to the fact of people suing me saying.
For all of this protection, the beneficial citizens of Dalton are paying a high price. Do you recall Tiffany's previous criticism for her lavish spending? That being said, the security situation is really getting out of hand. That's right. Dalton's financial situation is in deficit by $2 million. I get what you're thinking. A little town paying $1 million for bodyguards. Terry, the officer. It has been stated that Young worked 303 hours in a single pay period, equivalent to 12 five-day days without holidays. He earned about $113,000 for all of that work. Talk about overtime, as the math isn't even working at the moment. Tiffany is trying to defend all of this madness by saying that it's all covered by the collective bargaining agreement. But when did a small-town mayor require protection comparable to that of the president's? And it's not just. In relation to the money, Dalton's police department is being adversely affected by the entire security circus. We need those officers on the street fighting crime, but instead we have a number of officers riding around protecting the mayor, said former police chief Robert Collins, who said he was unhappy. Although it seems that public safety is being sacrificed for Tiffany's personal safety, Tiffany isn't backing down. She is adamant that everything be done in accordance with the law. Although security is crucial, considering the city's $2 million financial imbalance, you have to question if Tiffany was watching her back. It's possible that she was monitoring her friends instead. The mayor's inner circle is disintegrating. The best friend just turned the tables on Tiffany, and the fallout is uglier than a reality TV reunion. Which bombshells will they reveal? It turns out that after all of the mayor's closest pals are abandoning the ship faster than Tiffany's ride-or-die crew, it's not so ride-or-die. The FBI's inquiry is being led by Carmen Carlisle, a trustee. The whistleblower and former best friend of Tiffany, Carlisle, is not only leaking tea, but she's also dishing out a whole pot of growing drama. Carlisle claims Tiffany has been using her position to commit some pretty nefarious acts, such as lying to employees, business owners, and even locals while maintaining a prosperous front that appears to have been funded by taxpayers. It's not just Carlisle, though, who has betrayed Tiffany. Former Mayor Chief Keith Freeman is said to. According to investigators, Tiffany's stringent management approach has backfired greatly, transforming her close circle into a breeding ground for possible spies. According to the ludicrous allegations, Tiffany allegedly encouraged her employees to act unethically, suppressed demands for public information, and pressured employees to punish business owners who didn't support her. This is the juicy section, yet it's similar to a Dalton set political thriller. A network of lies, dishonesty, and corruption that would make a soap opera writer blush is the not-so-flattering picture that these former insiders are presenting. Rather than being rumors and rumors, these are actual lawsuits filed by former workers who claim they were fired unfairly. I had the impression that Tiffany was as stable as a house of cards in a hurricane. Tiffany felt that instead of assisting the people of Tiny Town, she was managing an empire. But the real question is, why are all these people opposing Tiffany? Has Tiffany power trip finally pushed them over the edge, or are they just rats fleeing a sinking ship? That $1 million security detail was justified by threats against Tiffany's life, but some of her erstwhile allies are now wondering if it was just another way for Tiffany to wield her influence and spend public funds. It's clear that Tiffany is losing her grip on Dalton's supermayorship, and let's not forget that the FBI is looking into this incident and many insiders are eager to talk. Who knows what more mysteries might come to light? As if it couldn't get much hotter, Tiffany finds herself reaching for the kettle. In addition to denying that she is going nuclear, she is also contributing to the failure of her aggressive defense policy. Incredible, every tool at her disposal is being used by the mayor of Dalton, who is adamant about clearing her name. First on Tiffany's hit list is her ex-best friend, who is being sued by the mayor for snitching. They are discussing a strained friendship, and Tiffany is making it plain that she will not allow anyone to disparage her without facing consequences. Tiffany isn't just pursuing legal action. She is also using her show to publicly defend herself by harshly criticizing her accusers. When she calls out the snitches who are speaking against her, Tiffany isn't holding back. Tiffany's presentation of her own receipts is a clear denial of all these unfounded charges. You can have my tea if you like. Tiffany's announcement on her show that she will give her version of events is likely to be juicy. As she goes on the attack and defends herself, Tiffany's situation becomes more complex. She claims that all of this chaos is only part of a bigger plan to undermine her authority. Some are starting to fear that Tiffany's full-on attack mode could backfire when she asserts that her success is the reason she is being targeted and presents herself as a lighthouse for Dalton. First of all, it is rumored that her former best friend is not going to back down and would reveal even more shocking information if Tiffany doesn't. Furthermore, not to mention the several other individuals that have been speaking out against Tiffany, including her former chief aide and coworkers, all of whom are saying hurtful things. Are all of their stories truly contradicted by Tiffany's receipts? You still have to worry about that irksome FBI inquiry. Tiffany may be allowed to file a case against her previous employer, but would she really be able to take the federal government to court? However, don't dismiss Tiffany just yet if they find any proof to back up these claims, as she has demonstrated her ability to fight a lot, whether it's balancing multiple political positions or avoiding accusations of corruption. You might think that her vigorous defense strategy is a last-ditch effort to hide her identity. Tiffany is not alone in this. She has shown that she is not afraid of a task. The question is whether her spirit of endurance will be able to withstand this storm. Tossing in the case of Tiffany Henyard, the federal government has officially entered and is not holding back. In an effort to fully investigate the allegations of Henyard's corruption, the FBI has expended all of its resources, including witness interviews, electronic surveillance, subpoenas, and other investigative tools. Townwide, tones are giddy with this finding. Henyard has been under covert FBI surveillance for some time, and they have started looking into her activities while serving as mayor. From rumors of malfeasance, it has evolved into a thorough investigation that seems to be becoming more serious by the day. As federal officials have begun interviewing witnesses, reviewing accusations, and disclosing material, many in the community are taking notice. She is being defended by her fans, who claim she is just a new mayor trying to navigate the difficult waters she left behind. But those claims are starting to crumble in light of the scandals that have surfaced, the lavish spending, the power trips, and the stories that have dominated local gospel. It's also becoming more difficult to see Henyard as a powerless leader because some people say she has savored her newfound authority and that other people are also examining her financial decisions. Authorities at the federal level are also looking into allegations that Henyard has been misusing police resources on her behalf. Individual safety in addition to other unlawful activities. Despite the FBI's apparent interest in and seriousness about the explosive million-dollar bodyguard incident, the most shocking story currently going around town is that federal authorities may have discovered millions of dollars in cash, real money, stowed away at the Henyard residence. Even though this hasn't been confirmed, the community is startled by the implication alone. If it turns out that this story is true, Henyard will need to give some very serious explanations. Significant pressure is being placed on her administration by this pro, and it is becoming clear that Dalton's local government is experiencing a period of introspection as questions concerning her ethics and leadership begin to dominate local discourse. Her reputation, which her followers formerly took pleasure in, might have far-reaching effects as a result of the FBI's investigation under siege. Resulting effects Henyard may face serious legal problems if the inquiry validates even a tiny percentage of the mounting charges, which would be detrimental to both the town and her political career. Once heralded as a fresh voice in local politics, the mayor now faces the serious prospect of criminal charges and jail time. She might be quickly and severely brought down, and it's hard to think her political career would survive the impact of such a scandal. Although the FBI is putting more pressure on Henyard and the list of allegations is growing, it is too soon to throw him out completely. Since Henyard is a resilient person who has weathered storms previously, she might win the case as it goes on. Whether she will make it through this firestorm or if it would be the end of her career is uncertain, and Dalton is closely monitoring the towns. The FBI's grip is making the political climate dangerously unstable. The investigation has already created a stir in Titans, and its eventual outcome might lead to unexpected changes in the local government. The consequences in any form will be severe and have a long-term impact on Henyard and Dalton's leadership. As she always has, Tiffany Henyard is displaying her resilience. The stakes are bigger than ever before, but she is once again at the center of a storm that is building. She is renowned for her feisty demeanor and willingness to battle, whether it be in court or in a harsh podcast reply. Tiffany has never been one to give up easily, as shown by her vow to sue her ex-best buddy, who seems eager to tell her everything. But if her former closest buddy decides to reveal any more details, the matter might get very serious. Mysteries. Despite her remorse for going to court, Tiffany cannot dismiss this as a minor local disagreement with a forceful argument or a public declaration. Once the FBI became involved, they used a different hardball approach that relied on resources. Tiffany's list of allegations is expanding as the FBI investigates her alleged misconduct. Everything from financial misconduct to her suspected abuse of police resources for private benefit is being investigated. She is being pursued, and her ex-best friend might be willing to reveal all of her secrets, so security and even the rumor that she has millions of dollars in hard currency hidden at her home cannot be remedied by a flashy lawsuit or a captivating speech. If Tiffany pursues the case, her former buddy is certain to reply with even more shocking revelations, and her political future looks more uncertain than a Jenga tower about to collapse. It is straightforward to concentrate on Tiffany's issues while also considering the reasons behind her former best friend's actions. Was it for the greater good, or had her friend betrayed her? If the allegations of Tiffany's corruption are confirmed, this might have been the only solution to Dalton's political mess. Is it really Tiffany's desire to have all of her secrets and skeletons exposed in court? She might be exposed to more than she can bear. People are starting to worry if Tiffany's time as Dalton's supermayor is running out because the quarrel has evolved from a personal one to a public spectacle. Will Tiffany fight the charges to the end, or will she give up and quit before things get out of control? That is the true question. The ex-confidant might have been acting selfishly or in an attempt to draw attention to some grave transgressions. Despite their continued faith in her determination to fight, Messier's fans are beginning to doubt her ability to prevail in this conflict. On the other hand, individuals are beginning to voice their displeasure, with some contending that politicians like Tiffany have to answer for their deeds and suffer the repercussions. They argue that officials of any gender or race will continue to act unethically until they suffer serious consequences, such as being sent to a federal jail for squandering taxpayer cash. In light of all the allegations, how did Tiffany Henyard escape jail time? Considering the gravity of the charges, some critics think she is wasting taxpayer money. And when the FBI looks into the subject more and her best friend is willing to share more information, it will only be a matter of time until the hammer falls. There are increasing calls for the prosecution and imprisonment of corrupt officials and thieves for their crimes. Tiffany's grasp on power, in addition to determining her political future, what happens next may also determine whether she can leave this situation unscathed or face severe legal consequences. Everyone is waiting for this chapter in Dalton's political history to come to a close.